Chapter 2 on the trail of the earliest people. What happened? Tushar was traveling in the train from Delhi to Chennai. Now he saw various things and he was often traveling in the train and his uncle told him that, do you know, Tushar, this train has just started 150 years ago and the buses only after that, 10 years after that. So these transportation mode have just started few years back. Now the question came into Tushar's mind. When there were no trains or any transportation means, what were people doing? How do they go from one place to another? Were they just staying at one place? So these questions we are going to answer here. So the earliest people, what we know by all the historical means, evidences, 2 million years, 2 million means 20 lakh years ago. So we know about the people who live in our Indian subcontinent, India and neighboring countries. So from today, if we go back to 2 million years ago, 20 lakh, we know about those people. Beyond that, we don't know. And these people, these individuals, they were called as hunter-gatherers. Hunters-gatherers. Hunters means they hunt. They kill to eat. Hunters. Gatherers means those which are eatables or any other things which is usable to them, they gather. Shikari, sangrahak. Hunter gatherers. So what they were doing, they were hunting wild animals. They were catching fish, birds to eat them. They used to gather or find the fruits, vegetables, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks, eggs, all these things. Today we go to the supermarket, we get everything. But these people were not. They used to do it all by themselves. As I said, fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks, eggs. And they also found out that certain plants are good for being used, can be used as a food. But these are not so easy things which we can just read. If we just take these, I can take you to those era. You see that it was quite difficult because they were hunting wild animals, and these animals, they were not having any bullets, they were not having any shotguns. They have to do it all by themselves. They were hunting animals which were quite faster and stronger to them. Catching fish is very tricky. Today we have nets, we can catch bird. And the plants also, the plants we know, we eat say ladyfinger, we eat the eggplant, but they didn't know. They might have eaten something and they would have died. So they also came to know that which plants are edible, that can be eaten, and which are poisonous. And also when they are eating fruits, they must be knowing that when the fruit has ripened, that they can use to eat, they can use to feed them. So what may be the reason? These people were not staying one place. They were always moving one place to another. So why they were doing this? There may be certain reasons which we can argue. If you have a house, you won't go anywhere until unless you have a job or some forced condition you have to shift. Otherwise, you are happy staying in one place, making a house and living in the vicinity or society. So what are the reasons? First reason is, when they were living here at this place, they might be hunting wild animals, they might be eating the fruits or vegetables, etc. And when they get finished up, they eat up all those which are nearby them. That is, they have finished the resources. Then to search for this food, they have to go to another place which may have wild animals and all these eatables. Second reason may be they were actually hunting these different animals, and these deers, these animals, or any animals which they hunt, they will go for their prey to some other place. So they were actually chasing these animals. So in order to chase them, they have to change the place also. The third reason may be the trees, fruits, or whatever we see, they come only in certain season. Every season they don't come. So when there is no season for that particular thing which they eat, they have to change the location in order to get some other thing which is there in that season. So for seasonal changes of the different eatables, they have to go from here and there. Then we have the water. All the civilization which we know right now, all the civilization are developed only on the river banks, near the river, like the Indus civilization, like the Nile civilization. So water is essential. And some rivers, they were perennial, like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Indus. They are perennial. Every time you get water. But all of these people were not living besides or on the banks of perennial river. There are rivers which are not having water all the time. That is, in the dry season, they don't get water. That is winter and summer. That is, they have to go to that place where they get water. That is why they need to shift their location time and again because of these various reasons. There are maybe other reasons also, like they want to meet their friends, relatives. They may go, or they may be adventurous. Some may be adventurous to find some other good place, some place. If Columbus wouldn't have been there, there are different countries that he found out. So they might go for adventure to finding out new places. And they all were traveling on foot. No transportation, only foot. So the question will arise, how do we know about these people? How do we know? Archaeologists, professionals, they have found out the stones, the tools they may have made, the wood they have carved, the bone they might have used. All these the archaeologists might have found out. Either they have found out or they have dug up, and from these they might have known, we have known now that these type of people were there. So let me give you evidences. These are different era stones. First one is the earliest stone tools. The second one, B, is these are made several thousand years later, and the next one is again later. Then these are the E1, these are 10,000 years ago, right? And these are being made, if you see E, these are natural ones, but all these others are being made to hunt, to do certain activities. So they might use these stone tools to cut meat because they were hunting, so they need to cut the meat and use to cut the bone and to take out the bark or scraping out bark from the trees and to take out the animal skins. If they were using fruits or roots, they need to chop it off. And they also use this meat, tree, skin. There are so many work they might be doing with these specially made, handmade things. If you see here, this is digging the ground to collect edible roots. For that, they might be using stones, and at that time there were no clothes, so they might be using the skins of different animals in order to shelter them. It was quite cold that time. It was wintry, and they used to they just use these stones and use the bone or wood, and they make it as spears and arrows for hunting. They used to chop wood. They may use it as firewood and to make their huts. uh, some simple huts, and different tools also. The tools are maybe used to make the different tools. So they use it for various variety of purposes, and we have all the account or evidences that these were used these many years ago. So before we go ahead, let me tell you certain things which are going to come again and again. Now there are professionals like archaeologists who gives us all the account of this. They give the names. The archaeologists call the earliest period as Paleolithic. Paleolithic. Paleo means old, atit, ancient. Lithos means stone. Lithos means stone. That is how stones were very important there that time. So the Paleolithic period extends from 20 lakh, that is 2 million years ago, about till 12,000 years ago. So 2 lakh, that is 20 lakhs, 2 million, 20 lakh, till 12,000. This is all the Paleolithic era. Very long stretches this. So we again divided, that is the archaeologists again divided into lower, middle and upper Paleolithic. Lower, middle, upper Paleolithic, Pura Pashan, Pashan Kal. And most of the, say 99%, this long span of time covers 99% of our human history. After 12,000 years, there were changes in the environment. It becomes warmer. So from 12,000 to 10,000 years ago, we call this period, or the archaeologists call this period as Mesolithic. What they call it? Mesolithic. That is the middle stone. Mesolithic. Middle stone. Because the stones were quite tiny, well made, and that is why it is called microliths. Microliths. And they used it was used to make saws and sickles, various things. And this is we have the evidences of all this. And what about after 10,000 years ago? After 10,000 years ago? So this 10,000 years ago, this is called as Neolithic. From today, we go up to 10,000, it's Neolithic. Neolithic. So these are different ages. You need to understand and keep these all in mind. So Pura Pashan, now Pashan, all these words are these Paleolithic, Mesolithic, etc. Now I'll tell you certain places, and these places in India, we have found out the places where we have got evidences for people being hunters and gatherers. This is the Bhimbedka caves. I'm talking about Madhya Pradesh. Bhimbedka is a place in Madhya Pradesh, and these are certain drawings made on these different gufa caves. So there are three places going to be, we will be talking about that. You need to keep this in mind. These are called Paleolithic sites, Puratattva sites, Pura Pashan. So Bhimbedka. Second place you need to understand, Hungsi, all this triangular one. And third one is Kurnool. Bhimbedka, Hungsi and Kurnool. Others are also given here if you want to have a look. But these three areas you need to keep in your mind. So wherever these stones were made, people were making these stones. These are called factory sites, because they were actually creating these different tools. And how do you know these factory sites were there? Because the archaeologists and the historians, they have found the block of stones, tools that were made, and also they were making it, sometimes instruments were not good, so they discarded. So all these instruments to make these different stones, we found the evidences of this thing. So people used to live there. Also, if it is they are living there, so it is called as habitation cum factory sites. Factory sites are making stones, and people are also living there, so it is habitation cum factory sites. This is a picture of Bhimbedka. So all those sites are what you can say about sites. Sites are what? Sites are the places where remains of things, you can call it tools, pots, buildings, all these are found. These places are called sites. Bhimbedka, Hungsi and Kurnul. These are sites. So there are two ways the archaeologists have devised or understood. There are two ways how these stones may have been made. The first is called as stone on a stone. The two ways. First is stone on a stone. So they take one in one hand, take another in another hand, and try to hammer it. Use it as a hammer, the first one, and then they strike off the flakes, that is the small particles, till proper shape is formed. The second one is the pressure flaking. Pressure flaking. So they fix whatever is to be made. They fix it somewhere. Then they don't hold it in their another hand. They just fix it and then they hammer it using, say, bone or another stone. And again, certain shape. Same, removing flakes in both the cases. So first one is hand in hand, two hands using. Second one, only you fix it and then use the hand. So these are two ways. And one more thing we have realized, that they were aware of the fire, aag. They knew about fire, they knew how to create the fire. And they were using it for various purposes. To light prakash, to cook meat. They were hunting animals, and to scare away animals. To scare any animals, because there were different wild animals there. And every animal, they are scared of fire. Now, after 12,000 years ago, as I said, before that it was quite a cold winter. And after 12,000 years ago, climatic conditions changed. It became warmer. So this warmer condition, because of this, the grasslands were developed. Means the lands were grasses, simple grasses like this. So grasslands appeared. And because of this, those animals like deer, antelope, goat, sheep, cattle, they used to eat this grassland or grass from the grassland. So the people who used to hunt them, they used to follow them. But they were hunting also, and they started learning about their habits. How do they breed? Do they give another thing like milk along with meat? So they saw like cow and the goat, sheep. They are very kind animal, means they are very shant. They are not like leopard and hyena, etc. So they thought of herding and rearing these animals, paltu banana. So this way they might have made them as domestic animals. And then domestic, because most of the part, if you see, of the world, it's around sea or they have rivers. So people were not only relying on these animals or hunting of these animals, they have also learned about fishing. They have known that fish is also a very good meal, food. And in these grasslands, again, normally wheat, barley and rice, they grew naturally. Nobody was growing them, but they saw the seeds and they thought that, oh, this can be eaten. This can be good. This can be a grain to eat. So they learned it, and they started growing them by themselves. That is how we have wheat, barley, and even today rice and wheat is our staple food. Our food is not complete without the grains. So they might have learned how to plant them in due course of time, right? So then there are different places, as I told you, as I just showed you the Bhimbetka, the Madhya Pradesh and southern Uttar Pradesh. There are places where we have caves, and these caves we have different paintings. Like one of the painting, that a hunter is chasing the animal. So this shows their life also. We can go back to their life, and this picture shows, as we say, picture equals 1,000 words. So this shows that they were hunting the animals, and this is clear by the actual paintings we have as evidences. One more thing, who were doing what work, like men, women and the kids, we don't know. There is no clarity, there is no clear evidences, but still we see that men would do some work, women will do some other work. And ostriches in India, this is surprising for you, Shuturmurg. we think that we didn't have ostriches, but it is not that. We have found the eggs in Patne in Maharashtra. 3 places I told you, if you remember. One was Bhimbetka, that was Hungsi. So at that place, actually it is called Hunasagi. It is at Karnataka state at Yadgir district. So this is a very important site, Indian site of Paleolithic. This is a Paleolithic site. So whatever I said, like they have tools, tool factory, they have different paintings, all these we find in Hungsi. This is Hungsi. Let me tell you again. Bhimbetka, Madhya Pradesh. Hungsi, it's in Karnataka. Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. Okay. So this is the Kurnool area. So Bhimbetka, Hungsi, Kurnool, just keep it this in your mind. Apart from this, if you go to anywhere in the world, because civilization, people were there everywhere. So this is a picture which I am trying to show. This four kids school going kids have discovered this. So paintings were made between 20,000 and 10,000 years ago, and we have horses, older wild form of cattle, bison, woolly rhinoceros, reindeer, bear. All these are painted in bright colors using iron ore and charcoal. So there may be some ceremonial occasion they have some special rituals that the hunters are going to hunt. So they make this. So these are also the evidences which are available to us that take us back to all these what we are learning today, and we can track back to those era. So we will be taking a summary session of this, very short one, but I'll take it in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.